Hi, greetings. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today we're going to talk about Lanteria HR management system. We will have a very short live demo. Plus, we will talk about the implementation checklist. Main things you may need to prepare on your site for fast implementing the HRM system. So first of all, the voice belongs to this gentleman on the screen. This is myself. I'm 𝗟𝗍𝗬𝗓. I'm a product consultant. I've been in the HR technology for over 8 years, and I have participated in the implementation of more than 100 middle to large projects. And you will be able to see a few of customers with whom I worked, or I'm still working with those guys, like Lufthansa, OSM, and so on. Right. Today's agenda, a very quick introduction, just about 2 minutes or something. Overview of Lanteria HR, about 10 minutes. By the way, if you wish a more detailed demonstration, you will be very much welcome to schedule it with me personally. HRMS implementation checklist. We will talk about what you need to prepare. We will spend about 15 minutes, and questions may sound a little bit funny, but I'm really serious. We will stay here until the last question, so I will answer all your questions. A few words about Lanteria. Lanteria is a software development company, and our main product is an all-in-one HR management software for medium and large businesses called Lanteria HR. So the company is Lanteria and the software is Lanteria HR. The company was founded in 2006, and actually you will see a little mistake in my figures. It's actually 15 years now, not 14. The software is being used by more than 200,000 users. I mean, employees from those companies who purchased Lanteria. And we have more than 250 companies using the software around the world, in all regions, all continents. Now, let's skip the presentation. Let's take a look at the HRM system itself. First of all, what I must say, this is a system which is based on the set of modules. The system will offer you different functions. Your company doesn't have to purchase all of them. Like if your business only needs the performance management system, that is okay. Learning management system, that is okay. Recruitment management system, that is also great. If you need the whole package, yes, you can buy the whole package. The only, I would say, thing is that the core HR module always stays in the picture, because that's a master data module. You cannot skip it because the employees, company's structure, and job roles will be in that module. Without this information, you won't be able to run the performance review, because you need to review the employees and they are in core HR. You need to do some development or learning activities. Same, you will need people, and people will be in core HR. So this module is a must. Also, the system has a number of user profiles or user access levels. The HR manager, the manager of the department or organizational unit, and employee. Additionally to this, we've got about 7 or 8 roles like trainer, performance manager, and so on and so forth. If it is required to have any custom role with specific permissions, that is absolutely fine. It can be customized without any issue at all. Now, what the system has, the core module will be the module with the structure, people, documents, HR processes. Time and attendance will be the module with absences, vacations, business trips, local public holidays, any specific rules, maybe some cultural types of absences, and so on. We will talk about that a little bit later. Compensation is a quite simple module for managing the salaries, bonuses, salary reviews. Recruitment is for interviews, candidates, advertising the job openings. Performance is for goals, competencies, performance reviews. Learning is for all kind of development activities, online, offline, classroom development activities, including certification programs, testings, and so on and so forth. We also have the reports module, but this module actually does not need to be purchased separately. Whichever other module your company purchases, the reports module will always be there. The only thing is that the portion of reports inside of this module will correspond to the module that you have purchased. For example, you only buy core HR, the reports module will only have the core reports, no performance reports, no training reports, and so on. The org chart of the company inside of Lanteria will look like that. You can easily customize it. The data gets inside of the system through the data import, so you don't have to manually create all your departments, positions, whatever. No, you upload that all together, and the system will build all these charts automatically. By the way, you can always use the additional filter just in case you want to see a part of your company, not the whole organization. Next, it will also be possible to manage the leaves, absences, vacations, business trips, maternity, paternity, whatever, inside of Lanteria HR. Right now, I'm showing you the manager's view. So I am the manager. I see the out of office calendar of my subordinate employees. Here they are. Here are the types of absences. You will see absence, vacation, sick leave, and so on. And here are the calendar days showing us from when and until when the person is actually, or was actually, or will actually be absent. This page allows us to run this report for any other period of time. You just need to specify the start and end date. Right, let's go further. Of course, I have forgotten to say, the system has all the types of requests, reminders, notifications. So people request absences, they can be approved. When something is requested through Lanteria HR, the responsible people always get notifications, reminders to the email boxes. Right now, we can see the screen of a salary sheet, which is a compensation of the employees. The system allows you to build everything related to the compensation, like monthly rates, annual rates, bonuses, some specific remunerations, anything else. These fields are fully customizable. By the way, inside of the system, you can run the salary reviews. Normally, as an HR manager, you will initiate the salary review, and then the managers in their teams will add some propositions, increase salary for somebody, decrease, maybe pay extra bonus, maybe something else. Later, the HR manager can approve those changes or reject those changes proposed by the local managers in their teams. The next one, you can use the recruitment module of Lanteria to schedule the interviews, to publish the job openings to the external websites. Right now, we can see a few interviews scheduled. You will be able to customize the interview form. So when you speak to the candidate, just give me a second. That's probably my home Wi-Fi. Yes, so you will be able to reflect your opinion, maybe even do the competency assessment for the candidate, specify the skills which the candidate has. This is all highly customizable. You can create as many interview forms as you wish and use them for any particular case. Additionally, I wanted to show you the external space of a candidate. So first of all, Lanteria provides a landing page where you can publish the job openings, and that page can be put to your website or maybe to some other website, talent platform, whatever. The candidate will be able to log in and receive all correspondence from your company, like job offers, letters, invitations, regret messages, whatever, interview invitations also. That will be here. Also, it is possible, that's just a setting in Lanteria. If you wish, it is possible to copy all this communication to the candidate's personal email box, that email box which he or she has provided when applying to any of the positions. Additionally, the positions available right now will look as follows. Just a moment. I haven't refreshed the page for quite a while. This is how it actually looks. So as an applicant, this is the first thing I see, and then I will be able to select the position I prefer. And then I start applying, answer questions, attach my CV, and all other quite standard activities. Performance management. Well, inside of Lanteria, you can manage employees' goals, competencies, KPIs, managers' feedbacks, check-ins, whatever. The performance assessment form or questionnaire of any employee will look more or less this way. Of course, you can customize it. You are able to define what exactly needs to be assessed. In my case, it's the full year's annual assessment form. So here we can see the competencies assessed, objectives assessed, KPIs, and many, many other components of employees' life cycle in the company. Of course, you can define what needs to be assessed and who will be participating. So in my case, the workflow includes the employee, first adding some feedback, then the manager, and then the HR. In your case, you can easily customize this. The system will know who acts after whom, and this whole document, when you create it, when it's just a template, so it doesn't have any assessment results like I have, this document will be sent from one user to another according to the workflow which you have prepared. Next, the system allows to manage learning and development procedures. Right now, we can see the employee's development plan. Files or courses or trainings can get into this plan based on several scenarios. For example, I'm an employee. I went into the company's learning catalog. I selected some document or few documents or files which I want access to, and I sent my request, and my management approved or rejected my request. So I will get or I will not get my access to some of the files. Scenario number 2, the manager can also assign the courses to the employee manually. Scenario number 3, Lanteria allows you to specify some kind of criteria, or even better to say characteristics, based on which the system must automatically assign the course to the employee. For example, a certain course must be assigned to everybody who is on a position of a senior manager and speaks English, German, and French, for example, something like this. The system will automatically identify who are the people matching those criteria and will assign the course to the employee automatically. Additionally, the employee can also request the external course, just in case it is required for the company to pay for this development activity. The employee can fill out the form, specify the cost, details of the training, and then the company will consider that. By the way, for this particular scenario, you can keep annual budgets for the employee's development. So you will be able to track that, for example, for 1 year, you provide like $2,000 for somebody's development, and so far you have spent $1,000. So that will be a good transparent reporting. Let's go further. The reports module. First of all, what I must say, in Lanteria, we've got quite many reports. To be honest, I don't really remember. I think it's over 100. Some reports will be graphic. So if we will go to the dashboard, we will see some beautiful charts, pies, different colors. We've got many of such reports available, just like this. Some reports will look closer to Excel tables, just like the one which I use quite often, learner report, which shows us statistics about employees' past, failed, overdue development activities. It is also possible to build a custom report, just in case you cannot find the report that you really need. You go over here and build your custom report and add any fields and sections that you would prefer over there. That is pretty much it. Just one more thing is that this is how the employee's card will look. It is possible for the employee to use personal card or for the manager to use employee's card as well for different purposes. For example, for assigning a goal or task to employee and specifying a deadline for that task, maybe for uploading some documents, starting HR process, and so on. Of course, the levels of permissions are different for the manager and for the employee. The employee's possibility to customize something is very, very, very low. Mostly it's around contact details, personal details, but of course the employee cannot customize the personal salary. Of course not. That is pretty much it. Now, thank you very much for the attention to the demo. Let's return to our presentation. Now, what's next in our agenda? Oh, that is surprising. How do I go further? Give me just a second. Did not expect that. HRM system implementation checklist. The next points, the following points which you are going to see, I'm not trying to say that you must prepare everything for implementing the HR management system or any of its components like talent management or ATS, recruitment, whatever. No, it's just our recommendation based on our experience. Some of the data that you will see is not mandatory at all, I will tell you. Some will be mandatory, so the system won't work without that data. But these will be just recommendations, so please consider those as recommendations only. First of all, when you start to implement the HR system, it is your company's responsibility to prepare a high quality data. The vendor cannot do that instead of you. Of course, there are some systems, including Lanteria, we can borrow some information from your Active Directory, Office 365. It's super convenient. We can also do that, but we cannot do absolutely everything. Your data must be prepared by your company, ideally, I would say. So core information, which I would recommend to have prepared. Employees' data. You will see that 3 points look differently. I would like to pay attention to these. At least in Lanteria, the system can start working well when you at least have employees' names, org units names, and job roles. So with these 3 components, our system, at least Lanteria, will work just fine. Everything else is important, but not critical, I would say. So related to the employees' data, names, contact details, employment history, documents. At least think if you would like to store some of these inside of the HR system. If yes, please have that prepared. Org chart, relations between the departments, teams, legal entities, countries, locations, cities, wherever you have your business, maybe some overseas offices. Please also think about that and prepare what you have. HR processes, onboarding, offboarding, probation reviews, employee suspension, employee police background check, whatever. Think about that. If probably you need to have that, you should have these procedures prepared before you start implementing the system. By the way, please be advised, and that is very important. The HR systems which are based on a subscription, meaning that you don't pay for the license only once in a lifetime, you rent a license or you pay for the cloud subscription. If you don't have the data prepared in a good shape, that will mean that you will start paying for your subscription for example, from the 1st of December, and you will spend time preparing the data. And all this time, you will have to be paying for the subscription and not using the system. So it's always great to have the data prepared before you start paying for your subscription. Approval workflows. Anything related to job requisition, like vacancy approval workflow, maybe some absence request approval workflow, maybe some expenses approval workflow. Think about it if you would like to have that in the HR system. If yes, you should well describe these processes best on the paper or somewhere in Excel to have a good vision of how they look, and then send this to your vendor of the HR software. Compensation details, in case you would like to store that in the HR system, also think about components like base salary, bonuses, maybe some other specific remuneration components, and so on. Reports, think about which reports you may need from the HR system. Next, leaves or absences, or as Lanteria calls it, time and attendance. Leave plans. Any specific plans based on your legislation, maybe some specific rules as seniority rules, for example, like just in case people who worked for some number of years in your company get more vacation days, something like that. Think about these specific rules. Rules like accruals, carried over rules, seniority, which I also have mentioned before. Yes, just please try to visualize that. Think what you need from the system. Best, even if you have the HR consultant in your team who very well knows all this. Not always the vendor has a specialist who is very much familiar with your local legislation. It's always great when you have somebody on your side. Leave approval workflows. I mentioned that in the core HR module. I would like to stress that again. Some companies want that the employee sends the request to the manager approves or rejects, and that is end of story. In some case, the company wants that after manager approves, the request goes to somebody else, then to somebody else, and only after the last person approves, the employee gets a vacation or business trip or whatever. Think about that. Local public holidays, normally you would be uploading them when you start working with the leave management system, maybe like Independence Day or any other holiday applicable in your country. You should also prepare that. You probably should not expect from the vendor that they will go into Google and will search for your public holidays. It's best if you prepare this information. Timesheets, not everybody uses this functionality, but in case you track the activities of your employees, maybe you pay them salaries based on the working hours. Overtimes are very much important for you. Shifts, anything like that. Think about the timesheets, and if you need that, think about how this should be set up. For example, employees should have a list of predefined projects, activities. Do you need the overtime functionality? If you need it, does the system need to collect the overtime hours and offer extra payment or extra holiday, whatever? Think about all these nuances. Again, reports. Think about which reports you may need in the leave management system. ATS, or recruitment module, as it is called in Lanteria. Job opening settings, anything like questions that will be part of the job opening to which the applicant has to reply. Sections, descriptions, just imagine how your job opening should look like, what it should include, which blocks of text, whatever. Applicant portal settings, in case you would like to have a communication with your applicants, you should also visualize that. Which data should be a part of the applicant's portal, notifications, letter templates, yes, think about that. Websites are very important. Not every HR software has connections to absolutely all recruitment platforms or sites by default around the globe. First of all, think where you are planning to advertise, then make sure that your provider has connections to those sites, or there is some solution to this situation. And then just make sure you have analyzed subscription fees of those websites. For example, LinkedIn recruitment, Twitter recruitment, Seek, Career Builder, whatever. So prepare the list of websites and analyze them. Interview settings, interview workflows, in case you have several interviews one after another with the same candidate. Interview forms, the one we have seen a few minutes ago, that beautiful questionnaire. When you speak to your candidate, you can look into that questionnaire and ask a question and then fill it in the questionnaire inside of the system to reflect expected salary, overall impression of yourself about the candidate, and so on. Participants also, which roles will be taking part in the interview? Do you have a role of a recruiter, interviewer, and these should be separate people, for example. Think about all that. Job offer templates. Yes, it is always fantastic when you can build predefined templates of the job offers inside of your system. Lanteria allows that, by the way. And then you don't need to configure that on your computer. But in the system, you still have to configure it at least once. When you start using the ATS module, you should prepare the document template in the system with the header, footer, some standard fields, interactive fields. Most likely there will be some standard fixed text, but then there will be fields like candidate's name, offered salary, offered position, something else. These fields will be interactive and will be automatically updated by the system from candidate to candidate. So think about the template and please make sure it is possible to replicate it in the HR software. Reports. Also think about the reports you may need. Some recruitment efficiency, time to hire, whatever else you may need, but think about that before you start implementing. Performance reviews. Review templates. We have a few minutes ago seen my review template for the whole year called Annual Review. Make sure that you realize which types of reviews and review templates you may need. For example, you do project-based review, it will have one set of questions. You have annual review, it will have another set of questions. You will have probation review, it will be completely different. So think about which processes you have in relation to the reviews, and then think how many templates of these review forms you may need. Review workflows and participants. Who participates after whom? Remember, a few minutes ago I showed we in Lanteria allow you to set the workflow, like first employee responds to the performance review, then the manager, then HR. We actually allow customizing that. So it is possible to include any other custom users, but you should think what is your workflow and who are the users that should participate. Some supporting features. I wouldn't say all of them are critical. For some businesses, yes, for some businesses, not. But at least consider skills, competencies, goals, KPIs. Additionally, I can tell you managers' feedbacks, check-ins, disciplinary actions, grievances, whatever reflects understanding how your employee performed over the last quarter, last half year, last year, whatever you may need in the performance review. Please think about all those components. Reports, same as with any other module, you need to think which reports you may need inside of this system. LMS, learning management system, learning materials. First of all, your company may be having a database of courses like videos, audios, e-learning courses, whatever. You should somewhere store them, and when you start using an LMS, upload them into that LMS. Alternatively, if you don't own your, if you don't have some courses and you use external development courses, think about what's the best database of such courses that you would like to use, like LinkedIn Learning, Go1, Skillsoft, KnowBe4, that's the name of the database. So you should consider either using your own courses, external courses, or both, but please be prepared for that. Classroom activities, just in case you would like to have some physical or virtual classroom activities, then you should think about preparing the list of available rooms. Why? Maybe you will want to book the classroom, the classroom through the through the software. For example, your room has some availability in Outlook, and you will be able to automatically, through the software, pick up that room right inside of your system. Lanteria, by the way, allows that. From Lanteria, you can see the availability of all the meeting rooms you have in your company. Trainers, if you've got some internal or external trainers, make sure you have prepared the list of these people. Learning groups, maybe you have some standard learning groups. For example, all IT people jointly visit some course, then all salespeople jointly visit another course. So just think about that if you use something like this. And if you do, prepare the list of groups and participants. Training budgets, that's what I showed, not showed, I'm sorry, actually, I just talked about that. Lanteria provides this functionality. What's the main idea? When you want to track how much money you have in general allocated for development of your employees, and then how much you have spent. In case you use any procedures like that in your company, you will be able to also prepare that for your vendor, maybe some specific budget rules or anything like that. So quite also important to consider. Certificates, surveys, quizzes, I would say these are rather supporting features, maybe not critical, maybe not for every business that's critical, but if you use one of those or any of those, just think about that. For example, same as with the job offers, which we talked about. Certificate also must have a template, header, footer, some fixed text, some interactive fields. So if you do certification programs in your company, also prepare some template, at least in Word format. Then you will show it to your vendor, and the vendor will be able to quickly build it for you, or you can build it yourself in your LMS software. But it's always best to do it before you have started paying for your subscription with this LMS system. Reports, again, think about which reports you may need from your LMS system. Oh, yeah, so soon, I did not expect. Questions, please feel free to ask anything you may wish. Let me open the panel. Nothing in the chat. Thank you so much for listening, for your patience. Let's wait, maybe we will have some questions. By the way, sorry, while I'm waiting, very important, marketing asked me to tell you, this video together with this guide, which I have been showing you, all these 30 minutes, we will send that to you, so you will be able to listen later. Maybe you would like to clarify something, you will be able to check this yourself, or otherwise contact us if you wish to ask some questions. Questions which I very much expect, so please feel free to ask. Let's open the contact details, by the way, so you could see where you could contact us. No questions. Okay, let's wait another 30 seconds, and then we will close the call. Oh, software available. Is there a software available for SharePoint on premises? Yes, absolutely. Our system is also available for on premises as well. To be certain, for SharePoint 2013, 2016, and 2019. Yes. Any other questions, please? Feel free. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, please feel free to ask any questions. Okay. I think 30 seconds. Oh, no, one more question. Okay. Is there any template ready to upload the data? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. In the settings of the system, we have templates for absolutely any part of the information, present information, historical data, all those charts, employee names, positions, competencies, goals, whatever. Yes, absolutely. Everything which you can see in Lanteria, it all can be uploaded through the data import. Yes. And yes, we've got the templates which are ready to be used. You don't have to prepare your own template. You can use ours. Any other questions, please? Feel free to ask. In your experience, for a company with about 800 employees, how fast the implementation can be done? That's a very good question. I would say that the implementation, you should consider for that size of the company about a month per module. In our case, the core and compensation, they are always implemented together. I mean, you don't have to implement compensation, but if you want to, it is implemented with core HR. So literally, we implement system as 5 packages: core and compensation, absences, ATS, performance and learning. And the whole system would take 5 months for that size of the company. One module about a month or around that. But most of our customers, even if they buy the full system, they usually implement core HR. And then when core HR is in use, other modules can be implemented. The implementation of a new module does not break the work of the previous module. So other modules can be implemented while the first modules are working well. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Any other questions? Feel free to ask them. Just give me a second. Average time of onboarding process once Lanteria is implemented. If the question is about the onboarding of the candidate, your company's candidate, completely depends on your preference. The onboarding can be done within couple days, within couple weeks. But if the onboarding is more related to Lanteria software, not a candidate, like getting familiar with Lanteria system, we provide trainings. I think that about 3-4 weeks will be more than enough. Of course, we don't waste too much of your time. We don't require you to attend the training from Monday to Friday all day. Of course not. It's just like a couple times per week. Usually a training takes 2 hours, 1.5 or 2 hours. So in about 3 or 4 weeks, all personnel will be very much familiar with the system. So not really sure which onboarding you meant, but I tried to respond. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions, please? Very nice questions, by the way. All right, seems like this is it. Oh, yes, the question was more with the module implementations. Well, let me make it clear. When I said that the implementation of one module normally takes about a month, the training is usually included in that period. So after a month, let's say we started implementing core HR, after 4 weeks or 1 month, the module will be installed, the data import will be done, and the personnel of the client will be familiar with the module. So I would say 1 month is enough for like absolutely everything for one module, of course. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the question. Any other questions, please? Feel free to ask. Okay, let's wait a couple more seconds. While I'm waiting, I would like to again summarize that our marketing team will send you the record of this session and the guide which we have prepared. And of course, yes, returning to our contacts. Of course, you will be able to find them on our website, but still feel free to contact the sales team of Lanteria based on the region where you are located. Your request will be sent to one of our teams, which would be either West United States, Eastern Europe, or Australia. So we have 3 support locations. Anyway, you can freely send your message over here, and your message will find the right person on our side to reply to you. Okay, then probably that is it. Thank you very much for your time. I will be saying goodbye now and wishing you all a very, very great time. Thank you. Goodbye.